Hey guys, so I wanted to go over the instructions for today's assignment before you get started. Today you got a packet, and in the packet it gives you a real world situation, and it will either give you a graph, a verbal description, which is a word problem, a table or an equation that represents a linear relationship between two variables, which is basically the y equals mx plus b formula. You will create the three missing representations that match the representation provided. Your graphs must be properly labeled and scaled, and the information provided for each situation, you're going to use that to find the appropriate domain and range for each scenario. So let's look at one of them together so that you know what to do. I'm going to look at situation 3. Make sure you're with me on situation 3. And we're going to look at the table to create the graph first. So the first thing I'm going to do is label my table X and Y. And then I'm going to do the same thing on my graph, on my axes. So I have X here, and I have Y here. Now I need to make sure that my graph is scaled. So when I count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I only have 11 lines here and it wants me to go to 20. So on the x-axis, I'm going to count by 2s. So I'm going to label my origin first, and then I'm going to count by 2s. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22. Okay. On the y-axis, it wants me to go up to 28. So if I count by 2s, I'm not going to get there. It's only going to get me to about 22 again. So I'm going to count by 4s on the y-axis. So I'm going to start at 0, and then I'm going to go to 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, and 44. So now I have all the information right here that I need to create my line. So my first point is at 0, 8. So I start at the origin, and we always go this way first. We always do the x-axis first, and it tells me to go 0. So all I have to do on this one is go up 8. So we should all be able to tell by looking at this and by looking at the table what my y-intercept is now. And that's my b, right? So for my equation, I can go ahead and put plus 8. I know that's my y-intercept. Now I can graph the rest of my lines. So the next, or my points. My next point is 2, 10. So I have 2, 10. It's going to be about halfway between 8 and 12. Then I have 4, 12. So I have 4, 12. Then it skips some values. It goes up to 10 and then 18. So that's right here. Then it goes to 16, 24. Then it goes to 20, 28. So 20 up to 28. So I can take those points now and use a ruler or another piece of paper, or just don't worry about it and draw the straightest line you can to draw my line. Okay, there's my line. It's not straight, it's right. So now I need to figure out what my m value is, right? Because I know my equation is y equals mx plus b, and I already know my b, my y-intercept is 8. So now I need to find this, and I know that m is also rise over run, or y over x. But I know this is non-proportional, so I can't do y over x. Instead, I'm going to have to find the rate of change. So I know this side's counting by 2s, and this side is also counting by 2s. So if I have 2 over 2, that simplifies to 1. So I have y equals 1x plus 8. There's my equation. I can double check that, and I can also try it here. I'm going to pick my 2 perfect points, and I'm going to do rise over run. So right here I'm going up 4, so my rise is 4. And I'm going over from 0 to 4, and my run is 4. 4 over 4 also simplifies to 1. Now I can create my description. This tells me that this is height, tree height in feet, and this is years. So my description might say something like, a tree was 8 feet tall and grew 1 foot per year. And I can check that and make sure it makes sense. 1 foot per year, so 1 times year, yes, x is years, that's correct. And 8 feet is what I started with, right? So my word problem checks out. You're going to use this information to work the rest of these. So on this one, you can use the points that are plotted to figure out your y values. Wherever 0 is, where is it for y? Wherever 1 is on the x value, where is that for y? So you can fill in your table. You can also use rise over run to help determine your formula. And then you can use the information right here, miles traveled and hours, to determine your description. You're going to solve that for each one of these. You will turn this in before you leave today, and I'm expecting it to be mostly completed. You may work with your table. Please make sure you keep your volume level at about a 2, and I need to know that you are all working. I'll check these when I get back on Wednesday. We'll go over any that we struggled with, but this will be graded, so make sure that you're working hard the whole class period. Don't forget our test is Friday, and I will be available for tutorials before and after school Wednesday and Thursday if you have any questions. And please make sure that you are being respectful and helpful and kind to our substitute, and that you're staying focused on your work all period. Next class period for the second part of block, you are going to be taking your STAR math screener. We're doing progress monitoring this week. You will stay in your assigned seats for intervention. You will work on the screener on the computer, and when you are done, you're going to work on IXL C1 through 10, and those instructions are written on the board. Again, please no talking during progress monitoring so that I have a good snapshot of how everybody's doing so I can rework your intervention teams and make sure that you're not working on something you already know how to do. You all have a great day, and I will see you Wednesday.